Something very strange happened to me on my drive home. I still can't wrap my head around it. I think I somehow ended up in another world on my drive home. I don't know. Let me explain. I'm new here. I just joined Reddit about a week or so ago for the sole purpose of trying to understand exactly what happened to me on my drive home that night. I don't know if it's because I'm too new or too stupid for the interface, but I'm unable to find anything similar to my story, and I was hoping you guys could link in other stories similar to mine so I can try to figure out what happened, or maybe just give me your opinion. Here goes. I was driving alone on my way home. It was about 10 p.m. and I had just dropped my kids off with their dad for the weekend. He lives about 30 miles away from me. I had my radio on, just singing away. I love nighttime drives. They bring me peace. The road I was on is a road I take every single day of my life, literally. I'm very familiar with this road. I know it like the back of my hand. The road is a back road that leads from the town my kid's father lives in straight to my town. I was always taking this back road over the interstate because they've been doing road construction and the interstate is restricted down to one lane, with the other lane being oncoming traffic. Anyway, I was driving along, radio blasting, singing to the very top of my lungs, and only 10 miles from my house, when the radio went completely static. I mean, static. When I say static, I mean it actually did the weird static sound and then completely went silent. I looked around and all of a sudden I couldn't recognize where I was. I hadn't made any wrong turns. Keep in mind, this is a road I travel on at least twice daily to get to work, to drop my kids off, etc. I knew for a fact I was where I should be. The landmarks were all the same hills, similar tree lines, but the buildings that were there before were all gone. And the road looked, well, old. I slowed down just to take it all in, I guess. There was a wooden structure on the side of the road. It looked like an old cottage house I'd never seen before. Strangest thing about the house was there was this little old buggy outside. And when I say buggy, I mean like horse and buggy type thing. Okay, I fucking knew that. Sorry. A little further ahead, I noticed a light. When I got closer, it was a small little fire out in the middle of it, out in front of another structure. This structure was very similar to the other. It looked super old, and I believe it was a house. Next to the fire was a man. He was dressed in old-time clothes. I stopped to look at him. I was shocked. He had suspenders, a white shirt, very long beard, and actually noticed me and ran inside. I started to pull away when he came back outside, but this time with a woman. The woman was dressed in one of those dresses that fell out at the bottom. It was like they were from a totally different century. He pointed to my vehicle, and his wife, or whoever she was, covered her mouth with both hands like she was in shock. It's almost as if they'd never seen a car before, at least not one like mine. Anyway, the man and woman just stood there with huge looks of disbelief on their face. They kind of seemed scared, honestly. I pulled away, kept going, and noticed that nothing was the same as how I remembered it. There were no street signs anymore. Side roads that were once there were completely gone, only to be replaced with fields, and I knew for a fact I wasn't going the wrong way. It's literally just a straight shot from my kid's father's house to mine once you get on that road. You don't even have to make any turns. It's literally impossible to get lost. There were wells on the side of the road that I'd never seen before, old structures that looked 18th or 19th century. There were horses tied up, fires going, people dressed in old-time clothing, and nobody had a vehicle. Everyone that saw me pass looked absolutely petrified. Even the air felt different. Everything was different. I kept driving for about 3 to 4 more minutes, past a few more structures, some that looked like little stores, and then all of a sudden, boom, my radio comes back on, the air feels normal again, and I look around and I'm right where I'm supposed to be. I'm looking on the road I knew I'd been on the entire time, just a little further down, and everything looked normal again. I was so confused that I actually pulled my truck over, did a quick U-turn, and went back, only to find absolutely nothing out of the ordinary. I know what I saw. I wasn't daydreaming. I didn't fall asleep. I literally made eye contact with one guy in the suspenders before he grabbed his wife to show her my vehicle. I lived here my entire life, 25 years. There are no Amish communities here. There are a few about 3 hours north of me, but none here. I have always taken this road 2 times a day for at least 10 years. I truly don't understand. Why wasn't it there when I immediately turned back around? I don't know what has happened to me. It's almost like I stumbled across an entirely different time. Maybe slipped through some kind of portal. I've been searching this app every single day for over a week trying to understand, but I'm still empty-handed. Edit to add, a few people have asked me to add a better description of the actual old road to post. The road was no longer concrete like it normally is, but it wasn't gravel either. The best way I could describe it, it was very well packed down dirt, but you could still tell it was a road. Edit to add again. Now that I understand what happened to me, people know what happened? I am curious. I didn't want to add this originally. I wanted to get more of an answer to my experience, but could something like this, whether it be a time slip, a glitch in the matrix, or what have you, cause someone physical pain? The reason I'm asking is because after I experienced it, and still to this day, it's been about 7 or so days since my experience, I feel like I was in a car wreck. I'm actually physically sore. My back hurts so bad. It feels like there's bruising, but there isn't. I'm truly physically sore. I find it odd and was wondering if it correlates due to the timing.
So I do think it's interesting, assuming that they did travel to a different time, that they mentioned like the air was different.
Yeah.
Because that's something I never think of. And it would be.
It would be drastically different.
Yeah. Like pre-industrial revolution.
Yeah. I wonder how their car kept working, though. Also, can you think of you're living in this nice clean air and a fucking car drives by and you're like, what is that? They probably got scared because they saw a big smoking machine riding on the road. They're like, what is that electric horse?
You know what I think? that was secretly the start to the witch trials. They're like,
witch!
And she kind of looked like this one girl a couple villages over, and then it kind of got out of hand from there.
I saw you in your iron carriage.
Tell me that doesn't sound like something in Revelation. The iron carriage will billow smoke and fire. Like,
it comes to receive all for death of whom goes home with it.
Meanwhile, it's fucking Kathy in her Honda. Like,
she's just trying to drive back home. She's like, I have a nice weekend to myself. What the fuck?
She's like, I got a pocket full of
And the fucking... and it just like stops. And you're driving down. It's like... I picture that in Barbarian, how they had the like people like scattered out. I know that's not like an older time period, but I imagine them out scattered around with their little horse and buggies and in fires. What if it was just people LARPing?
That would be very funny.
Yeah, they just kind of took it over. They did a whole overhaul of that area. They brought somebody to bring in gravel, and then they were like, magic trick. Gone. Boom. Boom. Or they noticed they all got the message that this woman was driving through their LARPing thing and it was messing up the experience. So then they just like packed it all up, shoveled up the dirt, moved. Burn the houses down.
We don't need those. It's fine.
No, it's gone. They're gone. What do you want?
I feel like in that scenario, someone could also go, witch!
There's somebody walking around lighting all the houses on fire. I guess the most logical explanation would be, I don't know if I would say logical, but the most normal I can't say even normal either. But
I think it's a time slip.
The time slip is what makes the theoretically the most sense, which goes back to, can you imagine if you are doing something normal and then all of a sudden you're slipped into another time and then you're spit back out?
Yeah. I want to know some follow-up questions. Follow-up questions for the universe. What time of day was this, do they say?
I thought it was nighttime for some reason.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe were you, 10 p.m. Maybe were you super sleepy and you kind of like dozed off at the wheel a little bit and you hypnagogued.
You hypnagogued.
I hypnagogue hard, so
yeah. Maybe. I don't hypnagogue to the point of hallucination.
I see some shit.
Not while I'm driving.
Oh, I don't drive when I'm sleepy usually.
Yeah, I drove.
But yeah, I'll see some shit.
I drove one time. I was awake for like 48 hours.
Oh my God.
And then I had to go pick up my friend from Finland from the airport. And it was like the airport was like 3 hours away from where I was at.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to drive there. I think her flight landed at like 2 in the morning or something.
Gotcha.
So I had to drive all the way out to the airport and then all the way back to my Nana's, who's like, hi, Nana. I'm like, I don't know why I'm skating around it. She's watching. I had to drive all the way back to my Nana's house, and she lives like way out in the country.
Gotcha.
So, it was late.
Yeah.
It was late. I was literally, same thing. I had the windows rolled all the way down. I'm screaming music. The wind's whipping my face, and I'm like,
yeah.
And I still didn't hallucinate anything.
Yeah.
So
no, I hallucinate anytime I'm like about to fall asleep.
I do,
but I know that's what's happening. So I'm just like, oh yeah,
yeah,
sleep time.
I do hear things
Yeah.
when I'm trying to fall asleep.
Yeah. So similar, just a different orifice.
What if we're special? What if we hear things while we're trying to fall asleep? Because
Let us know.
We're in that little like area between sleep, and so spirits have an easier time talking to us when we're more receptive.
Yeah.
So what if that's when they come in and they're like, you're a bitch. Because that's what I hear.
Bitch.
You have to lock in.
Yeah.
The ghost telling you to lock in.
Yeah, no, I'm just like
our story.
we do have to go get the medicine from the pharmacy. And I'm like,
Huh?
what? I'm like, we're falling asleep.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine most of the time, and this is kind of freaky, I hear like 90% of the time somebody go, hello?
Ooh, I don't like
Yeah.
that. I hate that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. It
I
actually
see
happens.
why you think that. Mine's just like my brain's trying to figure out what channel it wants to watch. So it's like, there.
I do hear little sputters sometimes too, but it is
Wild.
When it's somebody talking, it's like, hello? Hi. Like that.
Yep. No.
Yeah. All the time.
I see why you think that. I hate that.
Yeah, that's why whenever we were talking about mimics, I was like, it like freaks me out. And same with flesh pedestrians, because it's the same way. I'm like, they're in here talking to me, and I have to, and I get so in my head, and this sounds so crazy, but I get so in my head at night that something is there with me that I refuse to like open my eyes. Once it's dark in the room, I won't open my eyes because I'm like, if something's in here, I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
I out of sight, out of mind. I can't see it. I can't see it. It can't see me.
But Addison, seeing is believing.
No, thank you. I'll stay ignorant. God damn it. I'm not about to open my eyes and there's a big shadow man in the corner.
No.
I don't want to see the hat man.
I do the same thing.
I don't want to see the hat man. No, thank you. Keep him out of my line of sight.
Yep.
No, thanks.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, like, I'll like how like dreams, and like lately, because as a kid I couldn't tell when I was dreaming, but now I can be like, oh, right now this is a dream. Oh, fuck.
No.
No. So I've been like forcing my eyes open.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're doing the opposite of you're just like stay shut, stay shut.
No, stay shut.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it, and it's immediately after the lights go out.
Yeah.
Unless if Quentin's still awake, then I'll keep my eyes open, usually because we're talking or something.
Yeah.
But this second he's asleep and I'm alone with my own thoughts, eyes closed, will not open them. There are brief times where I open them where I hear like hello, like loud, and I'm like, and I have to like look around the room, and I have to like make sure everything's okay, and my little pew still in my dresser.
Yeah.
But the way that my dresser, like sometimes light seeps in through the curtains in a weird way. It hits the dresser and it makes the bathroom door look like it's a little ajar.
Uh-huh.
And I always close the bathroom door before I go to sleep.
Yeah.
Always. No doors open in this house. Never.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll see it, and I'm a little more used to it now, but I'll see it and I have to get up and make sure it's closed.
Yeah.
Because it just freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
I hate that for you.
Going back to time slips.
So yeah, anyway, slips some time. That's pretty crazy.
That's a slippery slope, man.
Banana peel of time, it sounds like.
Yeah. If you could go back in time to any time period, what would it be?
Where am I going to go? I don't know, like maybe 2012.
Okay, that's solid.
Yeah.
She said, I'm not living past what I've known in my life.
Yeah,
Giving up these comforts? Absolutely the fuck not.
No.
You think we're going back to segregation? Absolutely not.
No.
That's a good point.
I can't go back at any point in time.
Yeah, I think the 70s would be fun.
Not for me.
No, like segregation has ended. I mean, it's not great. I'm not saying it's great, but there was the Black Panther movement was in the 70s, so like there was a lot of power.
For what reason?
I know. Boogie Wonderland, man. You don't want to be doing coke in the clubs. Boogieing?
Cut this out. What do I do now? Like, oh my god. Same life. My hair splatter. Like,
I guess that's true. Yeah. That's true. I would want. You know what would be really cool to go back to? Ancient Egypt. The ancient Egyptians believed that the most novel thing you could do was die. And it's not novel, but it's something.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Egypt would be cool.
Ancient Egypt would be cool, and people of color would love there. So
it is literally Africa.
Yeah, it's also literally like the start of humans. I mean, not the start of humans, but it's the start of like advanced humans, and everyone was brown.
Yeah.
Which is how it should be.
Yeah. If you enjoyed that little story, be sure to watch the full episode here. And make sure you like, subscribe, and all that jazzy. Jazzy? I see what you did there. Wait, what was that?